everyone, welcome to Sew Plan. I am Toonie. Thank you for being here. In this video, I would like to share with you one of my sewing goals for this year. In 2021, I learned a lot from sewing. I bought multiple sewing machines and I tried new patterns. I learned how to sew a shirt, a real shirt, for the first time. I sewed a bunch of bags. I tried quilting. I tried all sorts of things. So this year, what I wanted to do was to take my sewing skills to the next level. Whether it is bag making or quilting or garment sewing, I don't really know if I have a preference for one over the others. I kind of like them all and I want to try them all. So with that in mind, I thought that I would make one video per month at least to share with you the project of the month. And that project could be a bag or a quilt or a garment. So the project of the month for January of 2022 is, it is a diaper bag. This pattern is called the Aragon bag by Sarah Lawson from sewsweetness.com. If you've been making bags for a while, you probably know who she is. She's awesome. Let me go over some of the features of this bag. So this bag has shoulder straps. It has a front pocket with a magnetic snap. It has on the back side, or on the other side, this could be your front side, you know, whatever you want. On the other side, it has a welt pocket, very spacious. And on the sides, each one has a little elastic pocket. Right, this one also. On the inside, let me move a little bit closer. You've got lots of compartments. So you got extra elastic pockets on the sides, and on one of the main panels here, you got two bigger elastic pockets. And on this side, you have another welt pocket. And it's adjustable. If you don't want any pockets, you can also make the bag without pockets, but why would you? Now I'm gonna go over some of the adjustments that I made. So first, interfacing. I did use foam interfacing, but I had fusible foam interfacing on hand. I didn't have soft and stable, which is very popular among bag makers. And if you haven't got any foam interfacing at home and you want to go buy some, I suggest you buy that brand. My fusible foam interfacing resulted in some wrinkles. Another adjustment that I made was the D-rings. I also added a crossbody strap. Sometimes I like carrying a bag like this, so I just thought it would be handy. And then the last but not least adjustment that I made to the bag was, so instead of using quilting cotton for the linings, I used waterproof fabric. I think this is called nylon Oxford fabric. It looks really good once it's done. It was quite a pain to sew because it's quite slippery. It's plastic basically. You can't really iron it. So it was a little bit challenging to sew. But the final project looks so good and so worth it. Next, we're gonna talk about skills that you can learn from sewing this bag. If you're like me, if you're a beginner and you want a project that would teach you certain skills, for this bag, I think there are a couple of skills that you can practice. The first one is a welt pocket like this. So I never made a welt pocket. I was afraid of making one. I was afraid that I would mess it up. But with this bag, I had to. So a welt pocket is just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a pocket that is attached to the fabric, and then you open it up and there's a little pocket inside. It involves some cutting and some turning. What I learned is that it's a lot easier than I thought. So this was my first, it's not completely straight. So I learned from that, and then I made the second one on the lining and it looks so much better. The next skill that you could learn is a minor skill, but I did try that with this bag for the first time. So this is zipper by the yard. So I never used zipper by the yard before. I was afraid of putting the zipper slides onto the tape. I don't know why. I gave it a try and I watched a video tutorial from Emmeline Bags. I didn't use any special tools. I just watched that video and that helped so much. And I was able to get 2 zipper slides in, no problem. Finally, I would like to share some challenges that I encountered in the process of sewing this bag with you in case you're considering this pattern, or you have the pattern but you're not feeling brave and you're like, oh, I don't know if I can accomplish that. You know, of course you can. But I would like to share with you some of the struggles that I have so that you anticipate them maybe. And if they end up not being a struggle to you, that's great. But if you encounter the same struggles, you know that you can get through them. The only part where I struggled to the point where there was profanity involved was towards the end. I think there are like 37 steps in the instructions, and I got to like 35, and then I had to sew the lining pieces together with all this bulk, and it was the bag was twisted in such a way that I felt at the time that it was impossible to sew that seam. And I didn't know how to make it work, and I was really frustrated. But what helped me was the add-on video. I watched that video a couple of times, and then I learned how to kind of adjust my angle so that I could sew that seam. And it looks great. It doesn't look like I had a hard time at all. In conclusion, I'm really, really, really proud of this bag. Sewing this bag was actually easier than it looks. Like, it looks like it's big and complicated, but it just has a lot of steps. And you can see that a lot of the compartments are the same. You know, it has maybe 4 elastic pockets. You just sew multiples of the same thing. And that's a good way to practice, I think. If I could give one piece of advice to fellow beginners, I would say if you want to make this bag, do it. Don't rush yourself. Don't get frustrated. If you get frustrated, walk away. Calm yourself down and come back and continue. I can guarantee that the result will make you really, really proud of yourself, and it will motivate you to keep going. In conclusion, I really enjoyed making this bag. It's definitely a fun project. The pattern and the instructions are great. If you are a beginner, I highly recommend getting the video tutorial as well. You have to pay a little bit extra, but if you consider the amount of work that was put into making that video, I think it's so worth it. I wouldn't have accomplished this bag without video, for sure. That's it for this video. What's your sewing goal for 2022? How do you want to improve your sewing skills this year? If you're thinking about making this bag but are afraid to get started, what are some of your fears? If you made this bag, what do you think about it? Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed, liked, or given comments. It means a lot to me that there are people out there who support me. I hope that the love keeps growing, and I'll see you in the next video.